Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you a video that goes into depth for Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries and how it works. So, to begin with, I've heard some general sentiments that Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries has a very diverse combat to it, and that's not necessarily the case if you're aiming for optimal scores. So, to give a quick explanation, in Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries, the objective is to get as many kills as you can with counters. Uh, Counters in general offer between 2 to 4 times the normal damage that you would see from most melees that you do, and they don't consume any stamina either, and they give you the largest time bonus as well. So, from this general standpoint, playing Resident Evil 6 Mercs is pretty linear, and I will give some more details about No Mercy here in just a moment when we get to that segment. So, with default Mercenaries, the game does not drop extra, what can be called power ammo for certain weapons, like uh, grenades or even magnums. Certain ammo can be dropped, like sniper rounds for the semi-auto or the normal bolt-action sniper rifle. And so in this meta, unlike No Mercy, uh, you can't really do the grenade glitches often. So the biggest way to build time is through counters. Now, as I mentioned before, counters typically do between 2 to 4 times the amount of damage. So if you do what is called a light contextual melee, which is just by pressing the attack button, this is one of the other few melees that does not consume stamina, but it doesn't really stun the target to set up +5 or even +7 on, and it doesn't even give you +10 because it doesn't even set up for a counter. So the way this works is light contextual melees, for the most part, have a damage of about 100, and then most light non-contextual melees do only 100. There are some exceptions depending on the weapon you're wielding, like if it's a two-handed. There is also what is called heavy stun, which is typically where you use a quick shot or slide into a target twice, and or do the strat where you quick shot and then just slide into a target to open it up. Now, this ends up wasting about 3 bars worth of stamina in the general. So it's not ideal because the stamina system will end up kneecapping you when trying to do that, and in the end result, you only get about +7 seconds. Now, in this clip right here, you see a Napod in the game, the giant gorilla rock monster. So, in this Mercenaries, uh, you have to do what is called bossing. This was introduced in Resident Evil 5 Reunion and United, where you have to keep a boss alive until the very end to get the most amount of points, which introduces a layer of RNG into it, just like RE5 Reunion and United. In certain stages on, there can be multiple bosses where you do have to hold, such as like 5 or 6 Napods on Steel Beast. Now, another reason why counters are so busted in this game, as you can see right here, are from leaping enemies. Leaping dogs and leaping zombies have a 100% crit rate on them. So if you were to stand next to a group of enemies and then do a counter on a dog or leaping zombie, you would get instant kills on them, provided they're not wearing a helmet. So this won't work on fireman zombies right off the bat. Now, going into No Mercy here in just a moment, something I should mention is that in No Mercy, you can get grenade drops, and you can get power ammo drops. But because there are large groups of enemies and huddled together, the grenade glitch is the single most effective way to build time. So the way you do it is you induce heavy stun on a target where you toss a flashbang. Although flashbangs typically don't work on zombies because they have no eyeballs. And what you do is you get a large group of enemies together. you set one enemy up to coup de grace to get the +7, and then for an explosive grenade, frag grenade, whatever you like to call it, you can go ahead and throw that next to you, and then while you have one of the few instances in this game where you actually get reliable iframes is from a coup de grace, you do that, and it will give you +7 seconds for each enemy killed in the explosion. And because you can get grenade drops in this, you are free to abuse the grenade glitch much more often than you ever will in normal mercenaries. If you are attempting to use incendiary grenades, you cannot do them like this setup right here in the video, where I get 120 seconds. That's approximately 2 extra minutes worth of time. With incendiaries, you need to throw them at a distant group because they will detonate instantly on the ground, or you throw them into a wall just to give you a little bit of extra bounce, and then when it connects with the ground, you will have just enough time to initiate your melee and catch every enemy on fire. And then one problem with this mercenaries that I'd like to highlight in this section right here is because you are dependent on the enemies attacking you. Enemies, especially Juavo like here, really like to taunt, and so it makes it much, much harder to build time because they're just standing there, and this can lead to countless resets. And because counters are the single most ideal way to build time, or even you know grenade glitch on occasion if they're doing this, you can't really tell who's going to attack you because there's a large group of enemies there. But anyways, I hope this was a sufficient explanation for Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries and why it does not really have much combat diversity to it. Thank you for watching.